please stand. The Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are thankful for this special community, for the time we share together and the bounty of our nation. We are thankful for the commitment of our people who volunteer their time and talents to make our community a better place to live, work, and raise a family. We know that we alone cannot meet the challenges or provide sufficient inspiration without community involvement and the dedication of all concerned to the greater good of this city and all who reside in it. We are thankful for the beauty, the time, and the place that is Frostburg. Amen.
Amen. All be seated. Whenever you're ready, let's roll call.
Commissioner Nina Forsythe.
Here.
Commissioner Kevin Grove.
Here.
Commissioner Adam Ritchie.
Here.
Mayor Robert Flanagan.
Here.
And Commissioner Carter had a previous obligation this evening.
Need to start out with a motion and second to approve the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda.
Second.
Moving and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
And also approval of the minutes from our past meetings.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of the past meetings.
Second.
Moving and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Special presentations request. I think we have anything this evening. Okay, so we'll move on to Mayor and Commissioners' reports. Need a motion and second to accept all the reports from the various city departments.
I make a motion that we accept all reports from the city departments.
Second.
Moving and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Our only public hearing this evening will be our standard CSO. Hayden, you wanna give us an update?
So all of our CSO stuff has gone actually very well. Phase 9B is pretty much 96% done. We have a little bit of pavement left that we're doing, and then the rest is purely cosmetic, topsoil, seed, and straw. The official end date for that one is November 15th, but we're thinking we'll be done by the first week in November. Phase 9C is doing curbing, temporary sidewalk, and then winter pavement. Now, that way it's done before the snow falls, and then in the meantime, as the weather permits, they're going to keep working on water, sewer, and storm stuff in the area that they can without tearing up too much asphalt. Phase 10A, we think we finally just closed the funding gap. It is 95% done design, and we're hoping to put it out to bid in the upcoming months whenever we know we're 100% good on funding. And then Phase 10B and 10C are 50% design, and we're still working on some funding shortfalls and gaps. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Funding gap closed from MDE or other sources.
MD.
Great.
Anybody have any questions? All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
You can just say-
Yeah, you stay put. Old business, there is none. To move right to new business, ordinance 2022-07.
Thank you, Mayor. The first ordinance I have for you this evening is in regards to the bond ordinance that was adopted by the Mayor and Council in 2019 that was used to finance this building through the Community Development Administration. Of that bond issuance, $214,412,000 remain. What this ordinance does is it amends the original ordinance project description to include a acquisition, demolition of certain residential rental properties and the design, engineering, and construction of a new public parking lot with green space lighting and related improvements thereon. So it's a fairly simple ordinance. This has been reviewed by this, drafted by the city's bond council and reviewed by CDA's bond council. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I would ask for a motion and a second to approve ordinance 2022-07 on first reading and set the November 17th, 2022 council meeting as an advertised public hearing.
I move we approve ordinance 2022-07.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The next one, we discussed in your work session, 2 projects that need a resolution for ARPA funding approval, but there is one update to the Lions Park light retrofit to LED. The total project cost is $58,302. However, there is a direct install incentive program through Potomac Edison that will cover 36,000 of that. And then Brian Vogt, the director of Parks and Rec, had applied for LPPI funding, and they just informed us this week that they've awarded $13,842 towards that project. So the ARPA funding amount to do that would be $8,345.19.
Awesome.
So, and then the LED street lighting retrofit project for the 37 lamps is probably going to come in, not sure yet, between 20 and 30.
It definitely needs done. Okay.
If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion in a second to approve Resolution 2022-48.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2022-48.
Second?
Moved to second. Any public comment?
I saw your work session information, but none of that was in this meeting's publication. Financially or specifically as to what it was gonna do. I'd like a chance to look at it. I'm sure some of the public would like a chance to look at it before you all vote on it.
Typically, when the information is included in the work session agenda, I don't carry it over to the council meeting agenda. That's what Mr. Kirby did 3 years ago, and that's what I
There's no
followed.
information in the work session.
We did discuss it in the work session.
We
Yes,
discussed
you
the
did.
prices
You
and costs.
discussed it, but it's not up on the website, so, I mean, I have no idea how many, how much, where, when, nor does anybody else in the public. I mean, I see the ARPA sheet,
Yeah,
but it's
I mean,
blank.
it's not blank on my computer.
I looked at it this afternoon and it was.
I don't know what would cause that. I can read this to you. The Lions Park LED lighting upgrade is estimated to be $24,000. We've gotten some more information that might make that lower. The project includes the replacement of existing, the Lions Park LED lighting goes down to $8,000, that number I just presented. This project includes the replacement of existing lights at Lions Park with LED fixtures. The city would be participating in the Small Business Direct Install Incentive Program offered through Potomac Edison to offset the cost of the project. They did obtain 3 quotes in the Parks and Rec Department, and this was the low bid. The incentive program is expected to save the city around 60% plus the additional LPPI money. And then the LED street lighting upgrade is estimated to be $30,000. We think this might come in lower. This project includes replacing 37 aged LED streetlights with new LED retrofits. The dim and off-colored light emitted from the existing fixtures do not provide adequate street lighting. The new light fixtures will have a field-adjustable wattage switch so that the city staff can adjust the lighting brightness as necessary. The addition of the switch was prompted by resident input following the LED retrofit of the other streetlights around the city. The LED retrofit fixtures currently have a lead time of 12 weeks. The city would buy the light fixtures sole source from Capital Tri-State, because they are the head co-dealer, and obtain quotes for the labor installation.
Thank you.
And Ms. Van Houten, if there's ever an issue where a document isn't appearing, you feel free to email me and I'll send it to you directly in an email. I don't know why this would show up blank on your computer, but
More than willing to show you.
okay. Well, I mean, just email me. I'm happy to share the information.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next item is the Tradition Energy Agreement. So Tradition Energy, for many years, has brokered a electricity supply agreement for you. The most recent agreement was brokered in May of 2020, and your provider during that time, during the past 2.5 years, has been Constellation Energy. Because of the increase in energy rates and the City of Cumberland's agreement with Tradition Energy expiring in November of 2022, Cumberland reached out to the Allegheny County, LaVille Sanitary Commission, and the City of Frostburg in an effort to form a coalition and achieve better electricity pricing by aggregating more accounts together. The City of Frostburg, Allegheny County, and LaVille Sanitary did not have any agreements, and they just paid the market rate through Potomac Edison, so they're able to jump on to City of Cumberland's timing. However, City of Frostburg's agreement for 5.5 cents a kilowatt hour is good through May of 2023. I spoke incorrectly at the work session because I was reading through this agreement tonight, and this agreement would carry us through November of 2023. So it's 18 months, not the 24 months that the other coalition members are signing on for. But it would put us to expire all at the same time. In November of 2024, 18 months.
But our current rate still applies just until May, and then jumps to the new rate.
And the new rate is a little lower than it was last week.
Oh,
It
really?
is 9.295.
A
So
little lower. Yeah.
currently it's 5.5.
Yeah, but the original, what we had said last week, it was 9.7.
We were seeing between 9.5 and 9.7.
Okay.
So,
That's a little help.
so it is important that to lock into this rate, that we return this agreement within 24 hours. It worked out that all of the other parties had council or commissioners meetings today. So for once, things lined up. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2022-49.
I make a motion, we approve Resolution 2022-49.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment?
Looking at the information that was on your work session meeting, kilowatt usage is roughly 15 gigawatts. Is that the combined? So we're only paying for 2 gigawatts? Or a little over, so to speak? Okay. Is that in the resolution, or is that going to be disseminated somehow?
We pay for the electricity that we use.
I understand that, but, you know, when I looked at this, it's like, there's no way we use 15 gigawatts of electricity.
It's in the electricity supply agreement, what our forecasted volume is. It is 2.5
Okay.
over the next
Year.
18 months.
Yeah, okay, okay. I was just confused by all the data, you know, and when I sat down and looked at everybody's input there, it was like, we're not paying for Cumberland, are we? It's just a coagulated group of people that are going in through tradition
Correct.
To get that rate.
at that rate. Okay. All right,
Anyone else? All in favor? Aye.
So I would ask for a motion and a second for Resolution 2022-50. It would be the award of a contract to Vertex Roofing for the replacement of the rubber membrane roof at the street department. The cost is $131,400, and it would cover all of the Frostburg Street Department specific roofing. The Bureau of Mines is fine, and the Armory basketball gym roofs are fine. So this would just cover the street department roof. If there are any questions, I can more than elaborate. But this would set us up for 25 to hopefully 50 years of good roof that we never have to work on, and it comes with a warranty. So
And it's paid for through ARPA funding.
yes. So if there are no questions, I would ask for a motion and a second for Resolution 2022-50.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-50.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Thank you. Next one, Resolution 2022-51. Approve the quote for the rebuild of one of the valves for Piney Dam in the amount of $30,240. It is one of we already possess the valve. It's an 8-inch cone valve that we've had for some time now, but we are currently running on 2 valves, fully automatic, 1 valve by hand. By rebuilding the valve that we already have, it just gives us redundancy in the event that one of our valves goes down. We can just swap them right out and keep water going to the city. So I would highly recommend it. I think it's a very smart, safe insurance policy, and this is the best price we're ever going to see. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to elaborate.
And having been down valves
Yes.
in the past, I
Yes.
heartily approve.
So
I move we approve Resolution 2022-51.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment?
I read the rehab information that was in your last week's meeting. I like it. I think it's well written, and I think they're gonna do a good job, but I just wanted to get up here and tell you.
thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Lisa. All in favor?
Aye.
Next one. Resolution 2022-52, approve the proposal from RK&K LLP for a comprehensive citywide smoke testing of sewer lines and GIS mapping of all city-owned stormwater and sewer assets in the amount of $247,400. So this RK&K comes in, smoke tests the entire city to find all of our sewer infiltrations, all of our leaks that we want to plug up. And while they're doing that, they're going to tack on GIS mapping, so digital mapping of all of our storm and sewer infrastructure. And then we will combine that with our water GIS and some of our other asset tracking to have a fully comprehensive digital map. And then the smoke testing in and of itself is worth it in my opinion. But if there are any questions, I can go into detail.
It's a great program.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-52.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any public comment?
I should just sit up here.
Yeah, you should.
This was done in my neck of the woods a couple years ago. Okay, and since then the streets have been paved and the sewer manholes have been clogged over. Are you gonna unclog the sewer manholes before you do the smoke test?
It's gonna kind of be a touch and go situation. So we'll go out ahead of time. RK&K will give us basically a plan for how they're going to schedule everything, and then we'll go out before each section of the smoke testing plan and determine if everything's open and flowing and moving and whether RK&K can get to the manholes.
Okay.
So it's going to be a joint effort, but
Okay, but it was only done 2 years ago.
in a very small section.
Yeah.
This is the entire city, and while they're in there, they're mapping everything for us. So this is a comprehensive all-in-one plan to get everything in a 1-month time period onto ArcGIS for the city.
Okay, all right. So because that was one of my concerns in the past is you've just clogged up all the manhole covers and there's no airflow into the manholes.
Well, airflow into a manhole no airflow into a manhole is actually good for a smoke testing program. So it's actually not that we want our manholes clogged up, but for the sake of the smoke testing, they'll actually go from one manhole to the next, plug that manhole if it's not already plugged, and then pour smoke into the other one and see where it comes out at houses. So, so yeah, it should.
Is there gonna be a public, like, knock on the door
Yes.
kind of thing?
Yeah, we've
So people understand when there's smoke coming out of something?
Yep, and it'll all be done through RK&K. They've done this typically once a month in 100 little towns, so they're used to
I
it.
ask only because 2 years ago when, people are knocking on my door, there's smoke testing, and I
Yeah.
have to explain it to them.
Yeah, that's part of why we went with RK&K, is because they have a lot of experience with it, so they know how to manage it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. Be great to have that all mapped.
Yeah, tell me about it. Last one, so Resolution 2022-53, the declaration of miscellaneous equipment as surplus and authorize the sale of that surplus equipment. So the two big ones are our Peterbilt red garbage truck that is no longer of any use to us. It's no longer worth putting any money into. It's become a money pit. We might as well sell it and open up the space and get rid of the insurance costs for us.
Remind me never to have you try to sell a used car.
You just wait until you see the ad on Gov Deals. The second one,
Not helping us, Hayden.
the second one is our older jetter truck. It's not the vac truck. It is our older, just strictly jetter truck. It's basically just a big pressure washer on wheels. We no longer use it. It's just taking up space that we have to keep it in heated storage. So we would rather pass it on and open up the space for us now that we have the new vac truck that acts as a jetter. There are some smaller things here and there, but that won't be until next mayor and council meeting. So those two big ones would.
And they're really nice items that are coming out.
yeah.
Matt,
You don't wanna miss
Matt, you
those.
want a jitter truck?
Actually, well, we do know two for sure. The existing pipe trailer at the water department, that trailer has been here since before Jimmy Williams' time, and that's going on 40 years. So that trailer is in excess of 40 years old. And then we no longer use it. The brakes and bearings are out of it, so it's.
But they're easy to repair.
Yes, just swap them right
Vintage,
out.
it's vintage.
You
Yeah.
want this vintage equipment. Exactly.
We'll buff it out for you.
Okay.
And then we have one basically mini roller that is too small to use on any kind of pavement. It doesn't reach compaction standards, and we just don't use it anymore. So we might as well open up the space and move that one on as well.
It'd be fun for kids.
Yeah, it's like a Fisher Price roller. So. But it would be my recommendation to declare all four of those items surplus so that we can move them off of our books.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-53.
Second.
Move to second. Any public comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
The chief of police report is included in the monthly reports, so we just don't have a verbal report from the chief tonight.
It's fine. All right, open public comment. Any citizens wishing to give us a piece of their mind, please step to the podium and state your name and address for the official record.
I just need a desk here. Couple items that came to mind recently was Bowery Street. I don't know if you've ever walked it at between 3 and 6 o'clock when rush hour occurs, but if we could put a speed trap somewhere along there, I know speed bumps are outlawed, or put a four-way stop at College Avenue to slow people down, because they just blast down Bowery. Maine and Victoria. If you're coming, depends on how you look at it, coming down Victoria onto Maine, people kind of take their half out of the middle. So I'm wondering if we can put a white line on Victoria to keep people on their half of the road. The reason I say that is because when there's trucks with trailers, they're riding over the curb, or when the bus is turning right onto Victoria, they're running over the curb, just to avoid the car that's sitting in the middle of the road. Finally, I have a curious question. Last month, you passed an opt-out for police and staff on insurance. Okay. How much money will it save us?
It's not saving the city any money. It's costing the city more money, but it's providing an incentive to those employees that have insurance through their spouse.
How can it cost us more when there's fewer?
There's not fewer. It's just providing financial incentive to those that are on their spouse's insurance or their parents' insurance.
I understand their side of the story, but from our,
No one
city.
is opting out. It's just the people that have already opted out.
Oh, okay.
But instead of paying $15,000, $17,000 to provide health insurance for a family, we're giving them a opt-out payment of roughly $1,000.
So we really are kind of saving the city. money.
Yes, but in theory, yes. But in terms of just year over year, it's costing the city more because we had, for various reasons, people that work here that have a spouse or parent that works for a different government agency whose insurance is a little more attractive than what the city can offer. There's several people, or have military insurance or whatever. There's several people that have not been on the city's insurance.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anyone else?
Good evening. I'm Melanie Lombardi, Cable Channel Manager at Frostburg State University. I just have an announcement. We've been working on an upgrade for the cable channel. This process began in April, and we're finally at the point where we are actually going to be hosting a much better video-on-demand site where people can watch our educational programming on our website. And we also have a branded app in the Apple and Play stores that provide most of our educational programming, especially produced by our students. And we're slowly adding some of the other regular educational programming that we provide from the arts, entertainment, literature, science, and technology, and everything like that. And we are, since everything just hit into the Apple Store and the Play Store just within the last week, I wanted to come and invite you. I have a flyer here that has a code so that you're interested in downloading the app to start watching our programming. With this new capabilities, we didn't quite get all the funding that we needed to, but in the future, I'd like to be able to open up a conversation to possibly be able to stream the city council meetings directly to the channel with this funding that I have upcoming next calendar year, to be able to possibly offer that as an incentive to try to work with the city more. Because I know you're streaming currently, but to have it go live out on the channel as well as your sites and everything like that, just to invite a conversation to talk about future collaborations. Since the pandemic, I've been trying to plan for an upgrade like this for many years, and it finally came to fruition this year. The university helped with funding, and I'm also working on other funding areas to maintain our cloud services and everything like that. So, but I wanted to announce that we are finally in the Apple and Play stores, and we have a lot of interesting content available to watch if you're interested in downloading the app.
Thank you, Melanie. All right, great.
You can hang that in the lobby, Melanie.
Yeah, as I said, we just finished our work and putting together all of our marketing this week. So
Very good. Thank you.
Just want to remind everybody that the Halloween parade is on Thursday, October 27th at 6 p.m. with the kids party following at City Place. And October 30th is trick-or-treating from 6 to 8. So if you want to participate, leave your porch light on and welcome the kiddos.
Anybody else have anything? Oh, good. We're adjourned.